I forgot what a loss feels like. What do I do with my hands? Well, not the way you want to start off a series. The Ducks dropped Game 1 at home to the Edmonton Oilers 5-3, and honestly, you can place the blame on one thing overall. Penalties. The Ducks committed God knows how many penalties. I lost count. Honestly, I lost count. Which is truly a shame because the Ducks overall played a great game, led by Ryan Getzlaf, who was phenomenal overall from start to finish. And another fantastic performance by John Gibson, who bailed the Ducks out many times in this game with some huge saves. Unfortunately, though, the Edmonton power play was just too much for the Ducks to handle, and that was the difference in the game, but I will get to that a little bit later. So, of course, the matchup everybody was looking for was Ryan Kesler versus Connor McDavid, and it really didn't disappoint. The Kesler line really shut down McDavid. He really didn't get any opportunities overall on the night. However, that being said, a lot of other Edmonton players did step up and got the job done, mainly Letestu and Larson. The first period of the game started out pretty even, both teams just feeling each other out, getting the first early shifts in, getting those first couple of hits in as well. Kesler and McDavid, pretty much Kesler tied up to him the entire time he's on the ice. Little gamesmanship going on, but good to see. Gibson with a couple of huge saves early on within the first 5 minutes of the game, one even off the top of his mask, so he was coming up big yet again. And Ryan Getzlaf doing everything there is to do. Forecheck, defense, offense, everything. He was everywhere on the ice. He was doing what he had to do. He showed up to play. Great to see. All that said, though, it was pretty boring first period. Nothing really happened. Both teams got some shots on net, but no real grade A opportunities. And it wasn't really until the second period where things really kicked off. Now, at the start of the second period, the Ducks were on a power play from the end of the first for about a minute and 40 seconds, and they did not waste any time. Ryan Getzlaf led the charge up the left side of the ice, crossed over towards the middle, and then just ripped it past Talbot for an early 1-0 lead. And Getzlaf yet again leading by example, and a beautiful thing to see. And then 4 minutes into the second period, Nate Thompson up with Josh Manson on the rush, drops it off to Manson, who gets a beautiful opportunity and just rips it and off the fucking crossbar. Ugh. So close to making it 2-0 and just putting a statement right away. Oh, so close. And then, of course, about a minute later, the Ducks go on the PK. And while on that PK, about a minute in, Lindholm high sticks an Edmonton player. And now the Ducks are down 5-on-3 for about a full minute. The Ducks did manage to kill about 40 seconds on that 5-on-3, including a huge Nugent Hopkins chance, which thank God went off the crossbar. And then on a face-off, Ryan Getzlaf breaks his stick. So 5-on-3, it's pretty much 5-on-2 now. And unfortunately, Letestu buries a rebound, and Edmonton ties the game 1-1. Now at this point, tie game, I'm a little bit worried, not too worried. You know, Edmonton has a beautiful power play. They're very dangerous, so you can't give them those opportunities. You know that they're going to get their chances, and eventually some of them are going to go in. It's up to the Ducks' discipline to counter that and make sure they don't get those opportunities. And then about halfway through the second period, Silfverberg with a beautiful opportunity and hits the frickin' crossbar, second one of the period, and so close. But hey, let's not get worried. It's 1-1 going into the third period, where the Ducks have been dominant in this postseason and pretty much all season long. And I'm thinking, hey, it's okay. We got this. Now about 7 minutes into the third period, and Edmonton is yet again on the power play with a beautiful cycle around up across the point. And Letestu again from the exact same spot, literally the exact same spot as his first goal in the second, picks up the rebound. 2-1 Edmonton. And then the cherry on top, about a minute later, Draisaitl's leading the rush up, ends up feeding a beautiful pass to Larson with nobody on him, and just rips it straight through traffic and by Gibson, and now Edmonton's up 3-1. So now at this point, every single bad scenario is going through my mind. The Ducks are going to lose this game. The Ducks are going to lose this series. We're probably going to come back, force a Game 7, and lose at home because why not? Ducks things. All right, let's relax. Get it together. Get it together. We can still do this. And then about a minute later into my depression, Brandon Montour with a shot from the point, Patrick Eaves picks up the rebound and scores! The Ducks right away cut the lead 3-2, and I'm now picking myself up thinking, all right, we got this. We're coming back. We got this. We tie it, we win it. And then a minute later, Sylph, Kessler, and Cogs are leading the charge up. Sylph passes it off to the right to Cogs, who fires it on net. And then Sylph just smacks it in midair. Tie game, baby! 3-all. And at this point, I am just jumping, I am screaming, I am yelling. Oh, what a feeling to be down 3-1 in less than a minute, about a minute long, and then right away to tie it up. What a response. I was shitting bricks for a little bit there because they did review the play, claiming goaltender interference on Ryan Kessler, who did get a stick on Talbot and shoved him a little bit. But honestly, that was going to go in regardless. So I assume that's why they ruled it a good goal and didn't reverse it and leave it 3-2 Edmonton. What a freaking free-for-all, though, in the third period. They were letting them fight. They were physical. There was offense, great defensive plays, and great goaltending. 4 goals scored within a 4.5, 5-minute time frame. Insane. Now with the game tied, the Ducks are on full-on assault mode. They are attacking, and getting some beautiful opportunities. Unfortunately, nothing gets through Talbot. And here comes the heartbreak. Larson leads the rush down the right side and catches Fowler, a little flat-footed, gets the speed through and behind him, and then he just whips it up in front of the net, trying to get it through traffic, and it bounces straight off of Josh Manson's foot and into the net. 4-3 Oilers with 4 minutes to go. And that's the end of the game, unfortunately. They ended up adding an empty netter later down the line, but that pretty much sealed the deal. Ducks drop game 1 at home and lose home ice to Edmonton 5-3. All right, now time to go over some of the talking points and dissect this and see what went right, what went wrong. At some point in the first period, Kevin Bieksa looks like he injured his leg, and he gutted it out for the rest of the first and most of the second, but he did not return to finish the second period and at all in the third period. So the Ducks defensemen were now down to 5, no real chance to get in sync with each other. And honestly, I think that's what led to a few of the defensive breakdowns we saw in the third. And of course, the next topic is definitely going to be the penalties. The Ducks committed God knows how many penalties. I think it was 8 or 9 in total after the scrums. But God, you cannot give Edmonton that many chances to score. As we saw, they capitalized on it quite easily. The Ducks shot themselves in the foot with this game. They had their chances. They had pretty much control of the game for the most part, but it was the penalties. That's what really cost them game 1. So I beg to you, Ducks, clean it up. You cannot give Edmonton that many chances, or else they're going to win this series quite easily. One bright spot, though, was the Kessler line pretty much shutting McDavid's line down all night long. It wasn't until 4:42 into the third period where that line even got their first shot on goal. So great job by Kessler, great job by Silfverberg, and great job by Cogliano. One of the best parts of the night was watching Kessler and McDavid going at it. Kessler was giving him everything, shoving him, grabbing him, doing everything, to the point where McDavid's jumping onto the bench, so Kessler changes, then he hops right back on. Some beautiful gamesmanship out there. It's actually a lot of fun to see. So honestly, there are a lot of good things to take away from this game. Ryan Getzlaf played a great game. It was great to see Cam Fowler back in there. Regardless of the game-winning goal that he was kind of flat-footed on, I thought he played a great game. Great to see him back. He looks healthy. He looks strong. And hopefully we'll get Vatanen back for Game 2. We still don't know what's going on with Bieksa. We'll see if he's even available for Game 2. I believe I read that he's not, so we'll see what happens if Holzer draws back in or if Vatanen's ready to go. And another thing I want to talk about, which is not going to make you guys happy, is pretty much my thoughts on this series possibly being over. Now I get what you're saying. You're like, Corey, shut the hell up. It's Game 1. Relax. I'm with you there, all right? But just hear me out. In the Ryan Getzlaf era, so since Niedermayer retired, the Ducks have never come back from being down in a series to win. In 2014 against the Kings, the Ducks were down 0-2, ended up coming back and forcing a Game 7, which I had the great pleasure of attending, lost. Last season against Nashville, they dropped the first 2 at home, ended up forcing a Game 7, which I did not go to because I'm not an idiot. And they lost. So, looking back, the last time the Ducks came back and won a series after going down, 2006-2007, the Cup final year, where the Ducks ended up coming back in the Western Conference Finals twice against Detroit, losing Game 1, and then going down 2-1, and they eventually won in 6. So, I'm scared right now. I really am. And it was a very winnable game. I honestly thought the Ducks probably should have won the game, but I mean, one bounce. Look at what happened in the Calgary series. One bounce, one bad angle can cost a series or cost it a game at least. So I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope the Ducks can dig down deep and grow a pair and come out on Friday night and dominate, or they can come and lay an egg. But, let's relax. Let's relax. Let's relax. It's going to be okay. Right? But like I said, the Ducks did a lot of great things in Game 1. They outshot them 36-32, 57-43 in the faceoff, out-hit them 46-27, and pretty much even on blocks 16-15. So it's not like they were doing bad things out there. They were doing what they had to do. Just tip your hat to Edmonton. They're a good team. They capitalized on the mistakes, and it ended up being one fluke hop off of Manson's skate that was the game. So my third star of the game is going to Ryan Getzlaf, who picked up 2 points, including a goal and an assist. He was everywhere. I mean, he was doing everything that needed to be done. He was creating chances. He was great on the forecheck. Defensively, he was strong. His faceoffs were great. Not much else you could ask for him. And my second star of the game, unfortunately, goes to Draisaitl, who picked up a goal and 3 assists, so a 4-point game from him. Pretty much did what McDavid couldn't do because of the Kessler line, and he took advantage of it. And the number 1 star of the game, unfortunately, is going to this little bastard, Mark Letestu, who picked up 2 goals pretty much from the exact same spot. He had a solid game. He was, creating chances. He was getting in the players' faces. He was doing what he had to do. And he had a hell of a game. You got to give him credit. So we'll see what happens going into Game 2. Hopefully the Ducks can get off to a strong start, get an early goal and set the tone, and get a couple of strong saves from Gibson. Pull your heads out of your asses and stay out of the penalty box. Because if you continue to give up as many penalties as you are doing right now, you're gonna have a bad time. So now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go grab a bottle of Jack Daniels and drink my sorrows away. In the meantime, though, go ahead and like the video and subscribe, spread the word, and be on the lookout for my Game 2 recap coming out either Friday night or Saturday morning. And again, folks, keep painting it orange out there. Let's get a win and let's tie this series up.